wilayah, ethics, morals, knowledge, everything was displayed on the 10th of Muharram, symbolized with this flag.
Imam Hussein TV3 wants to improve their content to ensure that we meet our goal, which is to encourage, inform and educate the Shia around the world about the teachings from the holy household, the Ahlul Bayt. For us to do this, we need your help. Complete our survey and tell us which programs you like, what you like to see more of and what we could do better. The survey takes less than a minute, but you could be within a chance to win a ring made from the marble from the holy shrine of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Imam Hussein TV3, your gateway to Karbala.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Welcome to Morning Barakah Ramadan special with me, Ali Fadl. Assalamu alaikum, dear viewers. Assalamu alaikum, Abu Amir. And now we head back to the IHTV studios with Yunus with the latest news, brought to you by Shia Waves.
It's a beautiful start to the day, as many around the world celebrate the auspicious birth of Imam Hussein al-Mujtaba alayhi salam across the world on the 15th of Ramadan.
And coming up on today's episode of Morning Barakah, we have a special guest, Abbas. The naan is burning.
Many Muslims think that all fish are allowed. No, only fish with scales are allowed. طبعا of course this is according to most of our maraja. Please do go back to your marja to double check.
Today I'm outside Al Rasul A'zam Centre right here in North London as we see how they prepare for the holy nights of Al-Qadr. Come join us Haydar on the 19th of Ramadan.
In this Morning Barakah Ramadan special, we are dedicating a whole segment specifically for the Holy Quran. And actually, Abbas, I'd rethink touching the Holy Quran without wudu. Because the Prophet actually mentioned, when it comes to the holy verses of Allah, the Quran...
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Dear viewers of Imam Hussein TV, without your support, this channel would never be a success. Many of you have benefited from what is really a university of knowledge, lectures, interactive programs, and of course the Shia voice. The coverage that one receives in the holy month of Muharram and Safar, of course, from the land of Karbala is witnessed by millions around the world. Of our households and our communities, we need your generous support. With your support, there could be more documentaries. With your support, there could be more programs. With your support, Shia voice may come to your community, but we cannot continue this without your generous donations. In this holy month of Ramadan, a month of charity, a month of giving, a month of generosity, come together, join us on Imam Hussein TV and generously donate as you always have done, so we may continue to provide programs which serve Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and of course the holy household.
Draw inspiration from the Ahlul Bayt.
In the midst of contemporary struggles, we highlight the significance of self-control. Tune in for insights into spirituality.
فيه القرآن أنا جوعانة. ما أيضا.
لا شو تبي؟
أيضا دجاج لحم سمك.
يا محمود إن شاء الله اليوم تجيب لنا أكل وتاكل.
إن شاء الله ماما.
عليكم السلام.
شلون صحتكم؟
يلا وسهلا.
هذه مواد مساعدات، مواد غذائيه مساعدات.
والله
من
واجد.
مؤسسه الامام حسين شارتي، ان شاء الله يحتاجون دعاء من عندكم ان شاء الله.
والله واجد. الله يجزاك.
Every child deserves a nutritious meal. Build bonds that withstand time. Bring a family together this Ramadan. Feed the needy and change lives by donating now.
The holy month of Ramadan has commenced, and Imam Hussein TV is committed to providing its cherished viewers with a diverse array of high-quality educational content and special live broadcasts from the sacred land of Karbala. Among our primary broadcasts from this holy land is the live recitation of Quran directly from the holy shrine of Abu Abdullah Hussein alayhi salam, offering your home a beautiful ambience of spirituality from the holy land of Karbala. In appreciation of the sponsorship for this particular live broadcast, we have curated 3 exclusive gifts of gratitude for our esteemed donors. The bronze package includes water from the holy grave of Mawla Abul Fadl Abbas alayhi salam, the original turba or khaki shifa, and a piece of marble from the holy shrine of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. The silver package includes all items in the bronze package, along with a piece of carpet from around the holy darih of Abul Fadl Abbas salawatullah alayhi. The golden package comprises all items from the silver package, plus a holy flag of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, blessed on the holy dome and darih of Imam. To reserve your preferred package and sponsor the broadcast of Imam Hussein TV, kindly contact our Karbala office via WhatsApp using the number displayed on your screen.
straight away. Are you ready for death?
It shaked me.
My theological inclination pushes me, and I know to trust my heart.
I say to myself, when we read ziyarat, say, Ya laytana kunna ma'akum sadati. Are we just saying this because it's written, or do we mean it from our hearts?
Anything you spend, He will replace it. He is the best of providers.
Allahumma ma'bud, oh Allah, Khuda, Khuda, Khudaya. Allahumma adkhil ala ahli al-qubur as-surur.
Hey Ma'bud, har muhtaj ko ghani bana de.
هر برهنه را لباس پوشان. اللهم اقضی دین کل مدین.
اے معبود ہر مصیبت زدہ کو آسودگی عطا کر.
To return to their home.
Khudaya, har asiri ra azad gardan, azad gardan, azad gardan. Allahumma أصلح كل فاسد من أمور المسلمين.
Hey Ma'bud, hey Ma'bud, hey Ma'bud, har mariz ko shifa ata farma.
بدیهای حال ما را و خوبی صفات خودت تغییر ده، تغییر ده، تغییر إنك على كل شيء قدير.
السلام عليكم.
عليكم السلام. لا أحتاج التحقيق عليك.
شنو اسمك؟
حيدر.
حيدر حيدوري ما شاء الله. ايش قد عمرك؟
12.
12 ما شاء الله. هاي شنو؟
رياض.
وين حلو؟ زين.
جبل قنجر. طيب ما طيب.
Yeah, he said he's here by himself. He's got no mother or father. Oh, look at Hayduri here. He's so happy with his toy. Last time he smiled like this. Who knows? Brothers and sisters, you can see the excitement here. This child may have a mental illness as well, ADHD or something like that. But here in Iraq, there's nothing to help them. There's nothing to give them service or aid them and assist them through these hard times. And on top of that, he's also an orphan. Brothers and sisters, with your donations, you can give children like this happiness, health, and education, and give them, most of all, a better future and chance at life.
Your support, their strength. Sponsor an orphan and witness the power of compassion.
Water is the key to life, yet millions have no access to this basic human necessity. Imam Hussein Charity is building water wells in Pakistan. Help the survival of many who can't have this basic human right, those who are at risk of disease and even worse, death. Imam Hussein Charity has a 6-month guarantee of completion of each water well project. Help transform the lives of the believers who live without water.
So
donate today.
If you want to make more money, then you have to appeal to them. If you're obviously if you're somewhere where there's mainly Iraqi, Lebanese, yeah, you do Iraq. Okay, let's go. Can we start the clock as well, please? And shut the door, please. Thank you. Can you shut the door? Is that okay? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh, and welcome to Ahkam SOS, the show that discusses Islamic duties and practices. Now, this is a live show. We do take in your questions. If you have any question you'd like to ask on any topic whatsoever, please send them in via the WhatsApp number. It should be there below. You can scan the QR code in the corner there, and that will take you straight to the WhatsApp page, inshallah. If you're watching on Facebook Live or you're watching on YouTube, you can put your questions in the comment section, and inshallah, the technical team will send them to you on my handy iPad here, and we'll be able to answer your questions. If you'd like to call in, 0203 515 0199 if you're in the UK, and if you're outside the UK, the WhatsApp number is there. Just call the WhatsApp number and they'll put you straight through to the studio, and that is the quickest way to get your questions answered. You'll get a queue jump and we'll answer your question straight away. I'm your host, Mohsin Shah, and joining me is Sheikh Ali Ma'as. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
How are we doing this evening, Sheikh?
Alhamdulillah, bikhair.
Fantastic. MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Sheikh, we're almost halfway, and you know, it's been a really, really nice weekend. The weather was really good today. How was your fast?
Alhamdulillah, great, fine. With the blessing of Allah Azza wa Jal.
You had visitors over and stuff?
Yes, yes. And I think from now on, you would start to have either guests or you become as a guest.
You're being invited now and exactly, hosting as well. Is there a lot of thawab, Sheikhna, with hosting iftar for friends and family?
We have some narrations that whoever opens the one's fast, they got as much of thawab and rewards, of course, as a full meal, of course. Some ulama would mention that to feed them until they get full. It's not just to give them like a little dates and all the water. So yes, to have somebody in your house as a guest has a great thawab in this holy month, definitely.
MashaAllah. Sheikh, before we answer the questions, you always give some advice to our viewers. What advice can you give them today for Ramadan?
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطاهرين ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين. These nights and days, the nights of the Bid, Layal al-Bid, as they say. So to recite Dua al-Mujir.
Mujir.
Yes, very famous dua to be recited in these days of 13th, 14th and 15th. And it's all praising Allah Azza wa Jal in this dua. Subhanaka ya Allah, ajirna min al-nar ya mujir. Save us from the hellfire. So it's a great dua to, if you can't understand Arabic, try to find the translation and to understand the meanings of this dua, inshallah.
Inshallah. Just a quick reminder to all our viewers that we are taking in your questions. If you have any question you'd like to ask on any topic whatsoever, I don't need to know your name, I don't need to know where you're asking from. Send in your questions via the WhatsApp, the number's there, you can scan the QR code in the corner there. If you're watching on Facebook Live or YouTube, you can just put your questions in the comment section. If you'd like to call us, 0203 515 0199, or you can call the WhatsApp number below and it will get you straight through. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. Are Shias allowed to prostrate without a turba in a Sunni mosque? I think that's on WhatsApp.
No, it's wajib for the one to prostrate on muhr or turba or something that is not edible or you cannot wear, like wood, for example, tree leaves, grass, that is not edible. You cannot eat them, in other words. Tissue, for example, paper you can pray on.
Yeah.
So you can't pray on the carpet or rug. That's not Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam sunnah at all.
I've seen people, they can't find paper, so they'll take the Quran, open the Quran, and leave that on the floor and prostrate on the Quran. Can you do that?
I mean, if you can, because you have to make sure that it doesn't exceed 4 fingers in terms of the height.
So it has to be one of the thin ones, the small.
Yeah, I mean, to prostrate on the ayat of the Quran, that needs to be looked into. Yeah.
Fair. From WhatsApp, hello, Ahkam SOS. If you sneeze during Salah and you miss some of the words, but your niyyah is with them the whole time and you are thinking the prayer, but you don't have time to say it before the prayer moves on, must the prayer be repeated?
Is this a jama'ah or?
I think it sounds like jama'ah.
No, if it's jama'ah and the imam is reciting, so it's fine. If it's a dhikr and tasbih, you just have to repeat it again and continue with the salah.
I think this is from WhatsApp. Why do we Shia break our fast 15 minutes later?
Because the Quran says, وَأَتِمُّ الصِّيَامَ إِلَى اللَّيْلِ. It has to be layl, darkness in other words. When it's sunset, it's not actually layl. Even if you say it's the beginning of the layl, but it has to, according to Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, you go back to the narrations, what ulama they have actually derived from these narrations, that there must be the redness of the sunset to be seen over the top of your head, so in the sky. So that would be basically seen just 15-20 minutes after the sunset.
From, I think this is WhatsApp. Assalamu alaikum, Ramadan Kareem. When traveling during Ramadan to a different city, shall I leave before or after Salat al-Dhuhr for my fast to be valid?
Yes, after Salat al-Dhuhr, so you can keep your fast. And you have to keep your fast, by the way.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. Why do we Shia break our fast 15 minutes later?
Just mentioned that you must open your fast or pray when it's layl, in other words, when there's the redness of the sunset appeared just above your head. That is the Shar'i Maghrib and not the sunset.
Fair. More questions coming in. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. My mother left when I was little. When she reappeared, I asked why she left. She got mad and disappeared again. Is it obligatory to reach for her and reconnect? Sulah Rahim, I think they call it.
I mean, the Quran says, وَبِالْوَالِدِينَ إِحْسَانًا, to be good with your parents. So try to, in somehow, find her and, make that connection and bond, especially the mother. As the Prophet ﷺ advised somebody 3 times, your mother, your mother, your mother. So make sure that you look after her, for example.
This is a very interesting question, Sheikh. I'll help you as much as I can. Is it haram to invest in the S&P 500? That's from WhatsApp. S&P 500 is what they call an index. It is something you can invest in, and it is not. It's directly collaborated and correlated with the top 500 companies in the world. So you have, companies, big companies such as Apple, Microsoft, Ford Motors, probably Vanguard, BlackRock, JP Morgan, really, really big multi-million, multi-billion pound companies. And what they do is they've taken all of their data and they've made one share out of it. It doesn't mean you own the company. It doesn't mean you own a share in the company. But it's kind of like used, their figures are used for this to go up and down and so forth. So, are we allowed to invest in it? Because it's not directly investing in the company, but it is collaborated with their figures.
I mean, with regards to investments and especially with the investments, bitcoins and so forth, the best way for the one is to contact the office of his marja and to give the details of how the transaction is done in detail, so he can receive this the straightforward answer from that marja. Because sometimes if you maraja are different views with regards to that Bitcoin, for example, exchange and
with investments
and transaction or investment, for example. So you have to be very specific with the question in detail, so they know exactly what is going and coming, the money, and then you can get the full answer, inshallah.
More questions coming in. Assalamu alaikum. From WhatsApp, is snus nicotine pouch that you put in your gum halal?
I don't know if it's classified as A or B drugs. I don't know.
I don't think it's any.
Yeah.
I don't think it's A, B, or C. But it's really they put it in their gum and it slowly goes away. I guess it's similar to like qat. In Pakistan we have something as well, naswar they call it, and it's a bit of tobacco mixed with something, and it's just a little bit they take and they put.
If it's tobacco is allowed in overall tobacco, like the smoking.
You get a small high off of it, and obviously with the nicotine and stuff.
If it's like a tobacco is allowed, and we have seen this in the fatwa of ulama in terms of the shisha smoking. Although it's better not to do so, but in overall to say it's forbidden, there's no evidence for it. Yes, for the drugs there's evidence because there's a serious harm. Financially, socially, family-wise, for the one who uses drugs, who would ruin his family as a result of running out of money, for example. So that would be forbidden. But for other lights, let's say light types of, as you mentioned, nicotine and so forth, that would be allowed. Anyhow.
From YouTube, which sect will go to Jannah? Very good question.
Which sect? We have to go back to the narrations of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam when he said that my ummah will be divided into 73 sects, all in hellfire except one. And then when you bring other hadith, the Prophet says that to Ali alayhi salam, هذا وشيعتهم الفائزون يوم القيامة. He and his followers are the winners in the day of judgment. So when you bring the hadith, you see that the Shia of the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, the 12 Imams of Ahlul Bayt, they are the winners in the day of judgment, because others, either they are half imami or they just followed 3-4 imams and they stopped. No, you have to have a complete package of Islam and Iman. You can't just stop on one and leave the rest. You can't just say that I believe in Ali alayhi salam as Khalifa and not his offspring and his sons as imams. So you have to have a full package of Iman. In Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, as the Prophet mentioned, a famous hadith, Shia Sunni narrators mention it, that he left book of Allah, Kitab Allah, and my family, وعترة أهل بيتي. Who are Ahlul Bayt? No other than Ali alayhi salam, till Imam Mahdi Ajalla Farajahu Sharif. Whoever ignores them, not follows them, of course, will be one of those sects that will be in fire. Na'udhu billah.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. In the Quran, there is no mention of sect. Contrary, it is mentioned as one ummah. Is there any hadith which tells Islam will be divided into 73 sects and only one sect will go to Jannah? I think you've already answered.
I just mentioned this. Go back to the Kutub Ahl Sunnah and Shia as well. The 73 sects is mentioned there, and in more details that the Prophet mentions about the Jews, the Christians, and the Muslims. So how they were divided, each 71, 72, and 73.
From WhatsApp, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. Is having a mortgage halal, or getting a mortgage, is it halal?
Mortgage as your first home, and basically it's difficult for you to rent property. There's hardship. على كل حال. As your first home, you're allowed, but to have a second home for investment, that's the ishkal that ulama have, that you cannot have as an investment. You can buy that home as a mortgage, your first home. You live inside it with your family, that's fine. But to have another property for the purpose of investment as a mortgage, that's the issue. I mean, best way is to ask your ulama or the Maulanas or the alim representative. There could be some kind of basically exception when somebody is, let's say, he's compelled. That's the only way he can do business, for example. So you have to speak to somebody who can actually find some kind of solution for that as well.
From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. Is there any dua for wanting to go for ziyarah, etc.?
Ziyarah, just say Allahumma rzuqni ziyarat al-Hussein alayhi salam, for example. I mean, in the whole month of Ramadan, we have the dua after each salah. Allahumma rzuqni hajja baytika al-haram fi aami hada wa fi kulli aam. And we have another dua, I think Abi Hamza al-Thamali, wa ziyarat nabiyyika aw rasulaka. So it mentions the ziyarah of the Prophet, that may Allah give us the opportunity to visit Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi in Medina Munawwara. So through these ad'a, inshallah, you will reach your, inshallah, hope.
From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. When did the Imams become infallible? When they were born, when they become Imams, when their father dies, when 33 was revealed, when, Sheikh?
Go back to the Holy Quran again. I would always try to find the answer from the Holy Quran. Isa alayhi salam, when he was born, and he was possibly 2 or 3 days old, or a couple of hours old, and his mother Maryam alayhi salam brought him to the rabbis and the ulama of Bani Israel. He said to them in his cradle, Inni Abdullah atani al-kitab. So Allah gave me the book, and of course as a prophet. So if Isa alayhi salam was prophet in his cradle, what about Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam? خلقكم الله أنوارا فجعلكم بعرشه محدقين. Read زيارة الجامعة. Allah created them as lights. The Prophet said صلى الله عليه وسلم to Jabir, يا جابر إن أول ما خلق الله نور نبيك يا جابر. The first creation of Allah Azza wa Jalla was the nur of Muhammad صلى الله عليه وسلم, along with his family, Ali, Fatima, Hassan, and Hussein. They were before the creation. In some region, it says 2,000 years before the whole creation of the universe. 2,000, even before Malaika. The awwal creation was nur of Muhammad wa Muhammad. Before everything, even before the Malaika. That's what we believe in. Because they are the Hujjatullah. They are the best of the creation of the world.
From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. Is skipping Islamic TikToks haram, such as Quran playing and so forth? So on social media, we'll have maybe an Islamic lecture come up, or a Quran, or this or that, and we scroll past it. Is that haram?
I mean, why is that haram? Let's say I don't want to hear this, for example, specific lecture, speech, or I mean, it's like you have Quran and you stop reading the Quran to go and watch the news, for example.
Yes.
Is that haram? You close the Quran to go to watch, let's say, news, or to have dinner, for example. Shouldn't be any.
From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. Is it true that Imam Sajjad and Imam Sadiq alayhi salam also prostrated on earth on Karbala like us and like Imam Hussein alayhi salam?
I can't remember exactly, but Ahlul Bayt salamullah alayhim, they used to advise on the issue of Ziyarat al-Hussein alayhi salam, to go there. And of course, the tabarruk with the turba and the sand of Karbala. And we have many narrations with this regard. You can go back to Kamil al-Ziyarat, by Ibn Qulawayh, you'll find the hadith there, plenty of hadith with this regard.
From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. Are all the Imams alayhi salam equal, or is one higher than the other?
No, we have rankings, yes. So it begins from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the best of the creation, أفضل خلق الله, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And then you have Ali alayhi salam, and then you have Fatima salamullah alayha, Hassan, then Hussein, then Imam al-Mahdi, Ajjallah Jafar al-Sharif. So Imam al-Mahdi comes before Imam al-Sajjad.
Yes.
And then after Imam al-Sajjad, till Imam al-Askari, the rankings in that direction. Yeah.
So Imam Hassan has a higher rank than Imam Hussein?
Yes.
Wow.
He says, Imam Hussein says, وَأَخِي أَفْضَلْ مِنِّي, مضمون الحديث, that my brother is greater than me.
Fair. And from YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. Is it true that Imam Hassan gave bay'ah and accepted Muawiyah as the Khalif for the Muslim Ummah? As much I know they were enemies, he fought him at Siffin and he didn't go to war again because of support.
You see, Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, when they had the supporters, they would rise. The famous hadith that the Prophet says, sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi, Al-Hasan wal-Hussein imaman qama aw qa'ada. They both are leaders, imams. Either they stand up or they sit down. In other words, if they arise or they don't. So Imam Hussein salam alayhi, unlike he uprised against Yazid because he had supporters.
Yes.
You know, the 72 pure ashab of Al-Hussein salam alayhi. Imam Hassan salam alayhi, what happened? The commander of the army, he deceived and he was bought by Muawiyah, Ubaidullah ibn Abbas. He bought him for like 1 million dirham or dinar, a huge amount of money. So he left Imam Hassan alayhi salam. You know, imagine the commander of the army, the general, suddenly he leaves, abandons his armies, and he goes with the enemy side. What happens? Basically, the army would be separated.
Some will follow and some will
Exactly. So the Imam had no choice except to basically refrain from the bloodshed because Muawiyah had the intention to kill every Shi'i. So the Imam, with this ceasefire and not sulh, some would say sulh, which is a truce or peace treaty. No, it was a hudna, as they say, like a ceasefire, but some call it a sulh as well, as a peace treaty, to protect the blood of the Shia of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. That was the plan by Muawiyah and Ibn Umayyah, to kill every Shi'i that they find.
From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. Is wood covered in a substance such as epoxy? Is it still permissible to pray upon? That is a very, very difficult
Wood
question
of,
to
sorry,
answer.
made of what?
So you have wood. Let's say we go to a school hall, and traditionally the school halls, you know, where they have assembly and they have PE and stuff, it's wooden floor. So can we do sujood on it? But sometimes there's a varnish, there's a chemical on top.
That's what I was going to say. That's the problem. If they paint it, or let's say,
I think this is wood. Can we get the middle shot? Can we get the middle camera? This is wood, but there's a polish on it.
You can see polish, yeah.
So it's you won't be able to do.
That's the problem.
Sujood on it.
That would prevent from the sujood to touch the wood, the actual wood, or the actual sand. It could be marble. The marble, you basically you paint it. Some kind of glossy
varnish, gloss. Yeah, there's gloss to protect.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the ishkal, yeah.
From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. How will we be able to recognize the Imam? May Allah hasten his reappearance when he arrives. Will he have any special ability that will prove he is the Imam?
Of course. How did people believe in Imam, let's say, Imam Hassan alayhi salam, Imam Hussein alayhi salam? How did they believe in Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in the first place? When the mushrikeen accused him of lying, of being magician, na'udhu billah. But he proved it through many methods, miracles, through his akhlaq, through his chastity, his amana, because they used to call him Muhammad al-Amin, as-Sadiq al-Amin.
Yeah, he was very trustworthy.
He was trustworthy because he used to keep amanat of the people.
Yeah, when they would go on travels.
Exactly. Yeah. So they actually knew him in the beginning, but because of course they were arrogant, you know, Arab tribes like Abu Sufyan, Abu Jahl, others, they couldn't accept that somebody else would compete them. They thought that he's going to take their kingdoms and take over Mecca and the whole Arabia. That's why they insulted him. And they knew him, he was truly a prophet. They knew him, Abu Jahl, Abu Sufyan, they knew through the words of the Quran that he was a truly prophet. And in some narrations, they actually confessed privately in their private meetings that he is truly. But we have to defeat him.
Yeah, because it affected their business and their money. From WhatsApp, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. I felt today a shawarma sandwich fell in my mouth alongside with an apple slice. Funny. Sheikhna, have you heard the famous one where I fell down and then this fell in my mouth and that, and you know, 3 apple slices, water, 3 liters of water and so forth. Is my fast valid or invalid?
You see, basically, here's the ruling. If you intentionally eat something or drink something, then this invalidates your fast, and you have to pay kafara as well to feed 60 people or to fast 60 continuous days. And if that wasn't intentional, suddenly, let's say, you forgot about being fasting. You know, sometimes it happens. You wake up in the morning, before you go to work, you have breakfast, and after eating, you remember it. No, because you did it unintentionally. That would be would keep the fast, and it would be valid fast. In other words.
From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna.
Assalam.
What is Mustaddafin? Which weak Muslims fall under this?
What's that, sorry?
Mustaddafin.
Mustad'afin is those who are laymen, how can I say, they haven't received the message correctly. Let's say those who live in Amazon forest or Sahara desert.
Simple folk.
Away from
third world, fifth world, maybe.
And not punish them straight away. He's adl, he's wise, he's just. So he would leave it till the day of judgment.
Can some Muslims come under this? That we did not receive anything
yes,
of
yes,
the
yes,
Bayt,
exactly, yes, exactly.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, exactly.
Is it haram to put cream with alcohol on your face? Normally, Sheikhna, the cream with alcohol, the alcohol in the cream is industrial, medicinal. It's not the alcohol you drink. So is it okay to put that on your face?
Yeah, as long as it's not intoxicating, that would be fine.
This one is from WhatsApp. Oh, can we say Bismillah before we smoke? Oh, maybe a little bit distasteful. Not really appropriate to say Bismillah before you have a cigarette. Oh, can you? Is it okay?
No, Bismillah is good at all times, for everything. Well, smoking would have side effects for the future, anyhow. But inshallah, Bismillah would protect you, inshallah, with the name of Allah Azza wa Jalla. But it's better to quit the smoke as well. So just to avoid.
How to deal with a father who listens to mischief-creating children and lets his children be disrespectful towards the older son in the light of Islam? That's on WhatsApp.
Initially, from the children's side, they have to respect the father. وَبِوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا. And from the other side, the father should educate them from their early ages. We have in some narrations that if the child reaches, let's say, a couple of months, I don't know how much, 24 months, less more, you teach him to say La ilaha illallah. The very first words that he or she tries to learn, to teach them the word La ilaha illallah. And then Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu after a few months, and so forth. We have these statements in the narrations that we try to teach them the holy names of Allah Azza wa Jal, the dhikr, in such an early age. So education should start from the early ages of their life, even before they start to speak. If you leave them for 10, 12 years, and then you want to basically ask your son to respect you, it's too late, sorry. It's too late. But still you can, inshallah, bring him to Majasif al-Bayt, bring him to the mosque, local mosque, encourage him to go to ziyarah, to umrah, to hajj. May Allah Azza wa Jal guide him, inshallah.
Inshallah. Sheikh, now we're going to go to a short break. Join us after the break as we continue our discussion here on Ahkam SOS. Now is the best time to send the questions. If you've got a question you'd like to ask, send it via the WhatsApp. You can scan the QR code there or the number below. Or if you're watching on Facebook Live or YouTube, just put it in the comment section. And we'll be back after this short break to carry on your questions.
I have a question regarding keeping pictures of scholars.
Is it permissible to plant trees by or
over
over
Islam
the
established based on peace and
Is it
non-violence?
permissible
to collect donations for charity projects from
Is it permitted to consume canned food imported from non-Muslim
Is
countries?
there an issue for men looking at non-Muslim women?
To have your questions answered live, WhatsApp us on +44 7415 092155.
For those interested in an Islamic law book by Ayatollah Sayyid Sadiq Al-Shirazi, please WhatsApp the Ahkam SOS team at the following number to place your order today: +44 7415 092155. The Islamic law book, available exclusively in hard copy, contains religious questions answered by Grand Ayatollah Sayyid Sadiq Al-Shirazi. Order your hard copy today.
Yes, you can order your book today, Islamic Laws by His Eminence the Grand Ayatollah Sayyid Sadiq Shirazi, a book that discusses many, many different chapters: prayer, fasting, hajj, zakah, moving to the West, bringing your children up in an Islamic environment, finances and so forth. It is a very, very good read. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna.
Assalamu alaikum.
Sheikhna, every episode we look at the mufattirat, the invalidators of the fast. We had eating, drinking, being intimate with a spouse, ascribing lies to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and much more. We had the immersing one's head as well in water. What other ones are there?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Yeah, the other mufattirat, or the eighth one, is to remain in the state of janaba. So let's say the couple would have had marital intercourse at the night of the month of Ramadan, and they ignore to basically have a shower, ghusl, wajib ghusl, and the Fajr adhan is called. Then there, of course, fast for that day would be invalid and batil. So you must not remain in the state of janaba. You have to wash before adhan al-Fajr.
Yes.
And this applies for both the husband and the wife. Also for the ladies, this is only for the ladies who are in state of hayd or nifas. They have to make sure that they wash before adhan al-Fajr. So if that is ended, the duration is ended before Fajr, they have to make sure they wash straight away before adhan al-Fajr. Inshallah.
More questions coming in, Sheikh, now from our YouTube and WhatsApp. Good one here. From WhatsApp, is watching anime which has scenes of nudity haram? Anime, Sheikh, now are cartoons, and they're designed with the more for more grown-ups. It's not children's cartoons, it's grown-up cartoons. There's a lot of fighting and so forth in it. And sometimes there's scenes of nudity. Now these are cartoons, these are drawings, Sheikh, now. They're not real people and so forth. Is it haram to watch those cartoons or those scenes in the cartoon?
The Holy Quran states, وَلَا تَتَّبِعُوا خُطُوَاتِ الشَّيْطَانِ. Shaitan and devil has steps towards the one. He wouldn't come to you and says, let's go to the pub, have a drink. No, there are khutuwat, steps. Step 1, step 2, step 3. And that starts from watching these things, although you might see it's just the cartoonic images. And I don't get any kind of temptation or lust and so forth. I'm a strong man, I'm over 50, let's say. These are khutuwat al-shaitan. You have to be very careful. You're playing with fire, in other words.
Yes.
And you could ask other ulama, they might say this is haram to watch, for example. So one should avoid any kind of images or movies that would lead to the haram eventually. It's the first step towards the haram.
From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. If Allah explicitly explains that there are those in authority, Allah, the Prophet and the group, and order to follow them, why do people not accept them? Is it ibadah to know them and to follow them? From YouTube.
The response is again from the Holy Quran. وَأَكْثَرُهُمْ لِلْحَقِّ كَارِهُونَ. Most of the people hate the truth.
Yes.
This is the reality. وَقَلِيلٌ مِنْ عِبَادِي الشَّكُورِ. Only small amount of people are thankful. The majority are
haters.
على كل حال.
From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. Is it haram to purchase counterfeit goods such as fake big brand shoes and fake bags and so forth with similar items? And that's from YouTube. Sheikh, we have this all over the world, really, mainly from China. For example, you have a very expensive watch, and they'll make a counterfeit version of it, or expensive handbag, and they make counterfeit versions, and they sell it cheaper. Is it haram for us to buy these copies?
I mean, to buy the copies, what's wrong with it? Because you made it as a cheap version for the people. So what's wrong with it in terms of?
It still has the name, the branding on it, and so forth. The company name, company logo.
I mean, the ulama say that if this has copyright, let's go back to let's say books or CDs in the past. They had copyrights. You cannot republish this book.
Yes.
Let's say Kitab al-Kafi. It has a specific copyright. Unless you go back to the author or those who are in charge, for example, his heirs, for example, and you ask for the permission to reprint and publish the book. So حقوق الطبع, the copyrights is respected in Islam. You should ask permission for the one who produced this software, for example, or this app, for example. You cannot copy it. So in terms of the copyright, you have to respect the copyright with this regard.
From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. Whose ziyarah has the most blessing and good deeds after Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam?
Of course, there's a lot of encouragement towards Ziyarat al-Hussein in Karbala. A lot of encouragement in terms of Manzar al-Hussein alayhi salam. he gets this much thawab, this much hajj, this much umrah. So yes, indeed, the ziyarah. And overall, we have to try to have this, how can I say, seasonal trip in all mazarat and maqamat. So you would start from, let's say, umrah in Mecca, Medina, the ziyarah of the holy site of the Baqi', for example, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, also in Mecca, all the way to Karbala, Najaf, Samarra, Kadhimiyya, all the way to back to Iran, Mashhad, Qum. So try to have this seasonal, let's say, ziyarah, especially for those who have ability to go and to travel.
From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. I am renting a apartment. Can I put that apartment on Airbnb? I think that's called subletting, Sheikhna. When you rent a property and then you rent it again for a small amount of profit and so forth. Are you allowed to do that Islamically?
Number one, is this your own property? You own it, or you have actually rented it from an owner?
Yeah.
It depends. Does he own his property?
Nah.
He doesn't own it.
No.
So he's basically he rented.
Yeah.
He rented the property. So this house, he rented from the agency.
Yeah.
Who has an owner, landlord basically. He needs to get a permission from the landlord.
Okay, that's
to
it.
do
Need
so.
permission.
That's the condition. Yes.
Just get permission and then
Exactly.
if it's all right, it's okay. More questions coming in. From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. Any advice on how to remove bad thoughts, specifically during salah?
Concentrate on the words of the of the reciting. Yeah, exactly. Be it Quran or tasbih or dhikr.
Yeah.
That would help a lot, inshallah.
From YouTube, Sheikhna, Assalamu alaikum. Is taqleed wajib?
Taqleed initially is wajib aqli. Logically is wajib, compulsory. Why? Because the aql says to you, if you're ill, you have to go to the hospital, to the doctor, to get treatment.
Yes.
If you don't go, you'll get worse and you might die. If you have fault, let's say something in your house is broken, the pipes are broken.
Yeah.
You get the plumber. Your car, mechanics, and so forth. In every field, we need specialists.
Yes.
You cannot even, how can I say, walk without having specialists in the streets in terms of organizing the traffic system. So we all, let's say policing, for example, and so forth, crimes and so forth. You need experts in this field to protect you and your family from being robbed and so forth. So we go back to the specialist. That's what taqleed means. The jahil would go back to the alim. رجوع الجاهل إلى العالم. Initially aqli. If I don't go back for my ahkam to the alim, what shall I do now? Shall I listen to music or no? I ask you. Shall I shake hand with the non-Muslims when their hands are wet or no, for example? Shall I, for example...
No. Shall I fast tomorrow or no? Is it...
I mean, can I get married to the Ahl Kitab or no?
Yeah, true.
Lots of questions come in the middle. Can you answer them? You can't. Impossible. So it's aqli before, it's actually shar'i or naqli.
From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. Does eating haram have an effect on spirituality?
Haram, definitely, yes. One should avoid eating haram anyhow. And if you did so mistakenly, unknowingly, just say astaghfirullah, inshallah, that would be.
From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. I am fasting this Ramadan and had to break it 2 times. I have epilepsy and sometimes it is difficult to keep my fast and still be able to take care of my disabled mother. Is it haram?
No, if somebody is ill, as the Quran says, فعدة من أيام أخر. If you إذا مريض أو على سفر, if you're fasting but you're actually ill or you're traveling, then you can open your fast and break your fast and then fast other days after the whole month of Ramadan, for example, as qada. So, but if you can take the medication before Adhan al-Fajr and after iftar, if you can organize it, of course you have to do so and you have to fast. But if it doesn't work, you have to have your pills or tablets, whatever medication. During daytime, of course, you're now marid, and the marid needs to break his fast and make it up later after this holy month, inshallah.
From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. If I'm around non-religious friends who smoke weed, am I allowed to roll the spliff for them? And if I don't smoke, regardless if I roll it or not, they still end up smoking? From YouTube. Okay, are you allowed to prepare the drugs that are going to be smoked or so forth?
You see, the Holy Quran states, وَلَا تَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْإِثْمِ وَالْعُدْوَانِ. Do not support on wrongdoing and indecency and transgression. So make sure you stay away from all these types of acts in which, as I've said, the very first steps of shaitan is to support, is to just watch something which is not genuine, but you'll end up suddenly smoking with them, and na'udhu billah, you might end up as well becoming a drug trader, na'udhu billah.
From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh, is it makruh to swim while you're fasting?
As mentioned before, if your entire head goes inside the water, that would break the fast, according to many ulama. Maybe one or two would have difference in terms of the opinion, but in overall, the majority will say to dive inside the pool or the sea or the river with your head entirely inside the water, that would break the fast.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. In the Quran, Allah said, don't die without being a Muslim. If we introduce ourselves as Shia or Sunni, this will be okay or not?
You see, we have one Islam. Inna dina 'inda Allah al-Islam. And the Islam is very clear. As the Prophet said, we go back to the Sunnah and the Hadith of Rasulullah and Ahlul Bayt. When the Holy Prophet said, Kitab Allah, I leave, my book, the book of Allah, وَعِتْرَةِ أَهْلِ بَيْتِ, and my family. That's it. Sorted. He didn't say, I leave the book of Allah and my companions. Follow my companions. No, he said, عِتْرَةِ أَهْلِ بَيْتِ. Even if they say Sunnah, the Sunnah would go back to Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. They are the ones who understand the Quran inside out. The ta'wil, the tafsir, the tanzil. They know it word by word. Not the Sahaba. So you have to go back to the true followers of Islam and those who interpret the Islam correctly, and they are Muhammad wa Muhammad sallallahu alayhi.
Sheikh, we're running out of time. I've got about 2-3 questions left.
Inshallah.
Why is muta allowed from YouTube?
It's in the Holy Quran. آية المتعة فما استمتعتم منهن فآتوهن أجورهن. It's in the Quran, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam approved it, and some of the Sahaba, even in the books of Sunnah, mentioned that they did it in the time of Rasulullah. The one who forbid it was Umar ibn Khattab in his time. He didn't like it. Even in the time of Abu Bakr it was. And they mentioned the history that Abdullah ibn Zubayr, the son of the Sahabi, was actually born from Mut'ah.
Wow.
Mentioned, yeah.
Can you read Nafila of Maghrib after Isha prayers?
Maghrib
Nafila after Isha prayers. So the Nawafil, does it have to be at the prescribed times, or can you do
Ayatollah Shirazi would say it's more flexible. In other words, Nawafil. Yeah, it's more. But you have to go back to your marja to see if he allows it.
And final question. Okay, hold on. We've got 2 more if we can.
Inshallah.
How did Imam Hussein alayhi salam die?
He was poisoned
by his wife Ju'da.
By his wife Ju'da through Muawiyah.
And finally, are nicknames such as Snowy for albinos halal?
I mean, one should better avoid these alqab, as the Quran says, وَلَا تَلْمِزُوا بِالْأَلْقَابِ. So try to respect the individual. He is a brother in Islam. على كل حال, that would bring more brotherhood, inshallah.
Inshallah. There's one WhatsApp here in regards to the Islamic law book and how to order. Just WhatsApp us your name and your address and so forth. Someone will contact you in regards to the book, and we're able to deliver it to you. Sheikhna, that's all we have time for. Thank you so much, Sheikhna, for your time and efforts. Thank you to all of you for joining us on this episode of Ahkam SOS. If I didn't answer your question, I do apologize. We had so many questions coming in. However, me and Sheikh will be back on Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. So there's no Ahkam tomorrow. But on Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. here on Imam Hussein TV. You can send your questions then via the WhatsApp, or if you're watching on Facebook Live or YouTube, you can put it in the comment section, or give us a call on the live show. Until then, enjoy the rest of your evening. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. How old are you? 7.
7
Wow,
years.
7 year old. ما شاء الله.
ماما بابا موجودين؟
لا بس أمه.
بس ماما موجودة؟ بابا وين؟
بابا ميت.
بابا ميت رحمة الله عليه. ايش قد مشتاق لبابا علي؟
وايد.